Welcome back. How's business? In our last video, we talked about the business grind and why it's so easy to get caught up in our own web. Not in business, but in busyness. In this video, I want to explore the different mindsets we all face in business and in the world of our daily challenges. One thing that was clear from the last video is that you'll never make real wealth if you're caught up in the grind. The grinder or the technician operates in a personality-based business, exchanging time for money. They provide services for a price. You can only sell so many hours a day, so they're capping their income to the number of hours they can work. While they might find some comfort in working on the tools and working with their hands, there is a glass ceiling as to what they can earn. Typically, the grinder tends to view everything outside their trade as an interruption. They are so focused on the present, caught up in the day, that any issue that disrupts their flow is a significant problem. As businesses grow, they encounter many issues: customer complaints, collecting payments, HR challenges, and very many more. As a result, the grinder often extends their work hours. It's not uncommon for these business owners with a grinder mentality to find themselves working 12 hours a day, 6 or 7 days a week, often for the wrong client. They become so consumed in their business, that becomes their world, that they barely have a life outside of it. Ironically, when I ask them why they started in business, the often response is to get a better lifestyle. Isn't it uncanny? They went into business seeking a better lifestyle, yet they find themselves trapped in their own grind. Many of them grow so busy with the grind that they even forget to bill their clients for services that they've rendered. If you've ever had a tradie that you've received a bill after 6 months, this is probably the cause. But it isn't their fault. The grinder is usually a perfectionist, someone who's gone into business thinking, I can do it better than my old boss, so I'm going to do my own thing. These individuals are often problem solvers and self-confessed control freaks, feeling that no one can do it as good as them. Does that ring a bell? They are the technicians who love to excel in their trade, be it an electrician, a cabinet maker, a plumber, or an accountant. Yes, even an accountant, and accountants fall into this category. I've had my share of grinding too. And let's face it, typically accountants exchange money for time in 6-minute slots. But let me be absolutely clear, grinding doesn't work. I've witnessed hundreds of business owners grinding away over the last 20 to 30 years, just scraping by, unable to pay off their homes and retiring on a pension. You see, the old industrial mindset doesn't cut it anymore. The idea of going to school, getting an education, learning a trade to achieve a comfortable, outdated lifestyle doesn't work. Today's business landscape is changing so rapidly that we need to work harder and faster and smarter just to keep up with the prior year's performance. With inflation soaring due to this government printing money at an alarming rate to manage trillions of dollars worth of debt, saving for retirement is nearly impossible. If you need proof, think about this. Back in the year 2000, you could buy a brand new house and land in regional Victoria for under $100,000. In the business space, the workload piles up: emails, phone messages, SMSs, accounts, HR management, business marketing, tax lodgements, and so much more. It can feel overwhelming. Sometimes it's refreshing just to get back on the tools and avoid everything else. However, today's interruptions are numerous and productivity suffers. Grinders often say, "Don't interrupt me, I just want to do my trade." So if you're grinding away those hours, I want you to consider this. What are you prepared to give up? I've seen countless business grinders over the years, and ultimately something gives. Be it their health, their relationships, their family, or even the business itself. So if you've identified as a grinder by now, think of this. What are you prepared or what are you willing to sacrifice? Grinding doesn't work. You merely exchange time for money without any leverage. You will not accumulate serious wealth stuck in the grind. So what's the alternative? I remind you of the excitement you felt when you first started in business. Remember that first day when you were energized and bursting with ideas? You envisaged how you would look, how your business would look, at shop fronts, uniforms, marketing materials, what sort of desired income you were going to make. At that time, let me suggest you were a visionary entrepreneur focused on the business. You were focused on bringing in clients and opportunities. You were working on the business, not just in the business. So what happened? As time passed, you got pulled down to the grind, no longer looking ahead, merely looking at your feet trying to survive the day. You may have started your journey in business, but now you find yourself in bus-i-ness, labouring tirelessly on the tools. You no longer have time to set future goals or improve your business. Those dreams and aspirations have been replaced by exhaustion and problem solving your daily issues. Instead of being like a stylish boxer with skill, you're probably more like a punch-drunk fighter. As a grinder, you generate income rather than profit, and you ultimately have a job rather than a business. So now let's try and shift our focus on a different mindset. The finder mindset is forward-looking and constantly seeks to plan and envisage the future. When people refer to someone as visionary, they are likely talking about someone with a finder mindset. These individuals work on the business, not just in it, continuously strategizing and making improvements. They focus on understanding their ideas and their clients' ideas and marketing and to attract the right type of customer at the right price. We all have that finder mindset within us, otherwise we wouldn't be in business. However, this mindset is often distracted or it fades away when we become engulfed in our daily grind. To reset this type of thinking, we need creative time and space, the luxury to think and plan. What's wrong with that? I refer to this as white space. Only then can we perform at an absolute peak. But how do we find time amidst the countless responsibilities we have in business? Successful individuals only follow a common formula. They follow a common recipe. They identify a gap in the market. They hire the best people. They incentivize those people. They implement systems and procedures, and then they step back out of the way. The last part is essential. Many business people, especially grinders, struggle to step out of the way. They become control freaks, convinced that no one can do it as well as they can. They wear the long hours and the constant busyness like a badge of honour, proclaiming that they haven't taken a holiday in years. Let me ask you this. What if they could find someone, or what if we could find people who could do the job 80% as good as you? Would that be satisfactory? To transition to being a finder or a visionary entrepreneur, you need ample white space to reignite your creativity. You need to hire capable individuals, systemize your business, and then you need to step back. You need to replace yourself in the grinding role and allow others to take on those tasks while you focus on the entrepreneurial entrepreneurial aspects. Your time is far too valuable to be grinding away. You need to stick to your genius zone, because remember, wealth is measured in time, not in money. Now think about this. How many days can you be out of your business right now? Is it days? It could maybe just minutes. Could it be hours? Maybe it's weeks. I want you to write it down and be honest with yourself. Then next to it, I would like you to write down the number of hours or minutes or days that you would like it to be. You see, once you've systemized your business to become more efficiently driven rather than personality-based driven, you'll be able to replace yourself as the grinder within that business. Clients will start to look for a team instead of you, the individual. Initially, you may feel awkward or even lazy with all this new free time that you have. But that's exactly where you need to be. This is what I call good laziness. It gives you the freedom to brainstorm and strategize, allows you to set future plans for your business. You'll have time to discover better clients and seize opportunities, ensuring that you get paid appropriately for your services instead of settling for any job that comes along. Successful entrepreneurs know how to leverage on other people's time and other people's money, rather than relying solely on their own. Remember, the old cliche, failing to plan is planning to fail. Now let's discuss the final mindset, the minder or the manager. If you've ever gone to the store and bought up plastic tubs to organise your garage, you've more than likely activated your minder mindset. If the grinder lives for today and the finder lives for the future, it's fair to say that the minder reflects on the past. And they consider how to tweak things for improvement. Again, engaging this minder mindset requires dedicated time, as it is challenging to manage your business effectively without it. You are stuck in the grind and you can't do anything else. The old saying, it's hard to remember you're there to drain the swamp when you're up to your arse in alligators, rings true, doesn't it? If the grinder brings you income and the finder attracts new customers, the minder focuses on profits. This means dedicating time to managing your business resources effectively, maximising your profits. It allows you to ask critical questions on how can we improve processes, what needs to be done to be systemised, are we meeting budgets and goals, do we need to raise our prices? These are all critical questions that a manager would consider to steer the business into the right direction into the future. Unfortunately, you won't have time to think adequately about any of these matters when you're caught up in the daily grind. So to recap, we can adapt a different mindset in our business. You can be a grinder stuck on the tools and focus on the daily tasks, a minder reflecting on past performances and making improvements for the future, or a finder who's proactively planning and enhancing the business to work for the right client at the right price. Some days we may embody all three of these mindsets, while others we can be pulled back into the grind, neglecting the other two. One thing for certain, while you may generate income as a grinder, you won't experience true wealth unless you embrace the finder and minder mindset. You see, a personality-based business is a tough slog, and if you remain stuck in the grind, you must ask yourself, what are you prepared to sacrifice? Your health, your relationship, probably even your business, or busyness, should I say. You're likely to find yourself with a job rather than a business, generating income rather than real profits. So please take a moment. Take a moment to reflect on your current situation. Is your plan working? Is your pain point severe enough to warrant change? Remember, frustration is the mother of all inventions. So if you're feeling frustrated, it's likely a sign that change is necessary. Change begins with a shift in the mindset. Your thoughts create your habits lead to behaviours, your behaviours are ultimately the thing that produces results. And results is the thing that motivates us at the end of the day. So, how do we change our thinking to change our lives? Start by evaluating where you are today, where you currently stand in your business. Are you grinding away with little returns? Are you frustrated? Are you in a cycle of busyness where you're too caught up in the daily operations to realise there's a bigger picture out there? Or are you transitioning towards a finder and minder mindset, planning for the future and managing effectively what's happened in the past? Begin to envisage what you want for yourself and your business and your family. Identify specific goals and aspirations that you're excited about. Consider how long you want to remain in the grind and what impact this will have on your personal life and well-being. Once you recognize these detriments of grinding away in the grinder mindset, it becomes easier to seek change and the change you desire. Make a plan. Dedicate time to think strategically, free from all the distractions of your daily tasks. In that white space, begin to draft your vision of your future, what improvements you can make, how you can delegate, what people you need to bring onto your team to lighten your load. Good people. Remember, strategies don't have to be grand. Small little incremental tweaks, what I refer to as 1%ers, can lead to substantial change over your business. Focus on consistently enhancing your operations, outreach, and client interactions. Seek out and cultivate ideal clients who resonate with your business values and goals. As you shift to a more balanced mindset, opportunities will begin to present themselves. I promise that. You'll have time and energy to explore them, and you'll embrace the journey ahead with an open mind. As we wrap up on today's discussion, I encourage you to take action. Shift your mindset, evaluate your approach, and begin implementing those changes. Remember, true wealth is about more than just financial gain. It's about achieving a lifestyle that aligns with your values, your passion, and your aspirations. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope some of that made sense. And I look forward to seeing you in your business journey. If you need assistance in getting on track with a visionary business, a finder mindset, systems and procedures, we have the team that will support you in that role. So thank you, and we'll see you on the other side.